And just to give a little bit of background, I was diagnosed with I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, major depressive disorder, anxiety disorder, and they were tinkering on borderline personality disorder. This is so funny. I know y'all probably thinking like, "Yo, like damn sis," but no, it was so ridiculous. This was years ago when I would say this was maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. Um, I will say I was depressed. I was definitely depressed. Okay, definitely depressed, but I didn't know it at the time. Um, all the other disorders, no. I did and do still have PTSD from an accident that I got into. But everything else, bipolar and personality disorder, that was so crazy to me. I couldn't believe it. Mind you, the person that diagnosed me, I was diagnosed by a family doctor. Okay, let's just start there. But at the time, I didn't know better. I didn't think, I wasn't thinking because I was depressed. I was a zombie. Okay. And then they put me on hella medication that made me an even more of a zombie. Okay, it was so sad. Okay, but at the time I didn't know it was sad. I didn't know I was a zombie. I couldn't feel. I didn't feel anything. They put me on lots and lots of medication. I do know that the one medication that was like had me like dead to the world was Lexapro, and also bupropion. Um, what was the other one? I had Xanax as needed. There was other things too, but I can't think of the names right now. But they had me on a lot of freaking medication. And again, I didn't know at the time that the medication was making everything worse for me. Um, at that time, I had gained a lot of weight. Actually, I gained like 40 pounds in 6 months. It was really bad. Like I was into a very, it was just bad. Um, and the only thing, the reason that I knew and found out that I was depressed was one day my daughter, and she was probably, what was she, like 7 at the time? She just came out and just was like, because every day we would come home, I would come home from work, I would pick her up from school, we would go home, we would sit in my room and eat like a pizza, and that's it. And half the time we didn't even watch TV. We would just literally sit there. Like I would be on my phone, she would be reading a book or something, and that was just literally our lives for about 9 months, almost a year. That was our life. Until one day she just came out of nowhere and was just like, "Mommy, can we just go outside on the porch? Can we just sit on the porch?" Like just out of nowhere, she just asked me that. And it just broke my heart. And something in me just broke, like snapped. It was just like, "Girl, what are you doing?" And then I started doing all of this self reflection. And I just realized I was in such a dark place. And so, you know me, it's all or nothing. I'm a 0 to 100 type of person. I literally stopped all of my medication. Like I would say in about like after 2 weeks, I stopped all of my medication. I did not wean myself off. I went cold turkey. I did suffer a lot of side effects from it, but I was not like I don't need nothing in between. I'm not gonna eat. It was all or nothing, and ever since then, I haven't. Of course, I've did a lot of introspection, a lot of deep work, a lot of shadow work, therapy, and a lot of healing. And I'm still going through a lot of healing and realizing a lot of things. But ever since then, I haven't suffered from anything except anxiety. And the anxiety is not consistent. The anxiety is not something I hold on to. It's just I have anxious moments. Oh, PTSD. I do still have PTSD. I do not take any medication for it. I do not take any medication at all, to be clear. But I do have PTSD from a very bad accident that I got into where I spun around on the highway 4 times and slammed into the wall. So when I drive, I have PTSD, not just in general.